So happy to be with you. Did they pick me for the end because of my age? Were they going like youngest to oldest? Just wanted to put that out there, okay? So I would like to start by telling you that I love Forensic Files and the ID channel, all right? I don't know about any of you, but that is kind of my go-to, my guilty pleasure. But I don't even have to turn on the TV to see a serial killer. You know why? It's everywhere. It's at your grocery store, it's where you buy gas, it's on your kids' internet, and it might even be in your 401k. Because you know what it's called? It's called Camel, it's called Juul, it's called Views, it's called Philip Morris. They're serial killers, and they kill 500,000 United States residents a year. In the last century, they killed 100 million people. Think about that, 100 million people. I know this is a downer for the end of the day, but they don't tell you when you're going to speak, right? So what brings me here today is my own mother, because those serial killers took my mom, okay? So what can we do about this? Well, there's 5 R's. And one thing that we do in smoking cessation is we use something called motivational interviewing. Now, I would love to be a motivational speaker, but motivational interviewing is not motivational speaking. What it is it's an empathetic approach to helping people. And we do it every day in dentistry. Any hygienist who has sat chairside with a patient trying to get them to use dental floss correctly is motivational interviewing. Trust me, I do it. So, what are the 5 R's? The 5 R's are, we need to kind of reinvigorate, we need to look at the risks, we need to look at the rewards, we look to roadblocks, and then we want to reintroduce everything at the end. So, let's look at the first one. So, we need to find something that's relevant to a smoker. And this, I'm not just talking to the dental people in the room. I'm talking, maybe you have a friend who smokes, right? And so how can you help them? Well, you can say, why are you smoking? In fact, where do you smoke? How do you smoke? When do you smoke? I don't even know how you have time to smoke, because most people can't even smoke at work or at school or basically anywhere. I remember the days when there were smoking on planes. I told you, old, the end of the day. So finding this relevance, very important. The next thing is risks. So we all know since 1964, when Luther Terry, the Surgeon General, gave us a report and it said, smoking causes lung cancer. Am I gonna bother talking to someone about that? I'm going to bore them to death. No, I don't talk about lung cancer. I ask them, what do you think your risks are? And let them tell you. You would be really surprised at some of the things they're worried about. But sometimes you can kind of enlighten them. For instance, I never even knew macular degeneration even existed when I first became a hygienist. Well, now it's a buzzword. Well, it's linked to smoking. Bladder cancers, all kinds of things that befall us. My favorite one, I have to tell you, impotence. And the reason it's my favorite is because they actually put it on a carton of cigarettes. So when I speak with high schoolers, I bring this carton of cigarettes, it's a Camel carton, and I flip it over, and in big bold letters, it says, smoking causes impotence. It is an eye-opener for 16-year-old boys, trust me. So telling them a risk that they've never heard of, fantastic. Rewards. Okay, what are the rewards? My favorite topic is the rewards. Now, am I gonna bore them again with these health things? They don't care about it. They know that. So I'm looking for something unusual, and you should look for something unusual. You're trying to connect with them one-on-one, because everybody smokes for a different reason. Everybody dips for a different reason. Everybody vapes for a different reason. So what are the rewards for that person? Maybe it's time. Maybe finally they might say, wow, I didn't realize I'm spending 2 hours a day going outside smoking. I could be exercising. They never say that. But I try and get them to say that. So that would be a reward. But my favorite reward is money. Money. Amazingly, smokers never figure out how much they're spending, right? So one of my first questions, because their first question is, how much is this going to cost me? Although they don't know how much they're spending on smoking. So I say, well, tell me how much you smoke a day, a week. Perfect. Okay, what does that cost in a week? Let's times that by 52. I have had people spend upwards of $5,000 to $10,000 in a year on their habit. And it's not a habit, it's an addiction. Very different. So what I say to them is, I just went to the Diplomat. It's an amazing place. With that $5,000 or $10,000, you could have an amazing vacation, maybe even 2 weeks. It really does resonate. So the rewards are fantastic. Roadblocks, there's a lot. The main roadblock, people begin this addiction before their brain is fully formed. And what I mean is, most people start smoking before the age of 26. So what happens is they start to rewire their brain. Their brain chemistry actually changes, and it becomes a way that they get that happy chemical, that dopamine, that endorphin. That runner's high? Well, they have the smoker's high. It's true. It's a true thing. So getting over that roadblock, you have to actually teach them how to cope. Well, that's very difficult when they've been using this since they were 16 years old and they're now 50. But it can be done and millions of people do it. And lastly, reintroducing it. Every time, if you are in a dental office, every time you see that patient, you have to have a smoking history. Are you still not smoking? I am so proud of you. That is fantastic. And why are you doing that? Because they're one cigarette away from a pack. One cigarette away from a pack. Because their brain has been primed for it. So really reintroducing it every time you see them. Now, is that enough? Actually, no. Statistics will tell you the 5 R's aren't going to do it. So what do we use? Well, there are 7 FDA-approved things we can use. 7 products. Only 7 FDA approved. What are they? You've all heard of them. Nicotine patches, nicotine lozenges, nicotine gum. It works. That's all over the counter. Then some dentists can even write scripts for pills. Varenicline or Chantix, Zyban, Wellbutrin, works. Prescription nose spray, prescription inhaler. There's all kinds of things we can use, and we can use them in combinations. So we've got lots of things. So let's go back to Mom. I flew down to Florida, April 27, 2005. I had lunch with Mom. She didn't look right to me. Her neck looked full. A week later, she went to the doctor. It was May 4th. How do I know that? It's my birthday. Diagnosed with oral cancer. It's a bummer. It's a bummer. So become proficient. We can do this. You don't have to be a dental professional to know the 5 R's. You don't need to be a dental professional to read the box and know how to use FDA-approved stuff. But you can help somebody. Try it. You can save a life.